Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's Daily Draft and our first Sunday wild card video. What's going to be happening here on Sundays going forward is going to be just some random formats. Today we're going to be playing Murders at Karlov Manor draft, but traditional draft this time, a little bit of best of three, something different. And Sundays going forward will just kind of be maybe some flashback drafts, maybe some cube drafts, maybe some more best of three. Just something a little bit different. Monday through Friday, we'll be doing premiere drafts of Karlov Manor, followed by Wildcard Sundays, and as you saw yesterday, AI deck build Historic Brawl. So it's going to be a good time. Taking a little bit longer here because we got a pretty easy pack one pick one here today. We've got Krenko, Baron of Tin Street, 3 mana, 3/3 haste. Good enough. Or you can tap it, sack an artifact, put a counter on each goblin, and whenever an artifact's put into the graveyard from the battlefield, you can pay red, notably anybody. It doesn't even have to be just you. And if you do, you make a 1/1 goblin that gets haste as well. Pretty good card to start off with there. Where do we go from here? The answer to that question is not a particularly great spot. Vengeful Tracker, 2 mana, 2/2. Whenever an opponent sacks an artifact, it deals 2 damage to them. Offender at Large, not great. Hard-hitting Question is a fine green removal spell. I might just take Escape Tunnel here. I mean, it's just a good utility land. It's Evolving Wilds with upside at common. There's Push and Pull, which could be okay, but like we don't know that we're going to be these colors necessarily. I don't see anything pulling me into a color, so I'm just going to, take the Escape Tunnel here and kind of go from there. There is Torch the Witness here. If excess damage was dealt to a creature this way, investigate, and it deals twice X damage. I think the tiebreaker between this and Murder is, well, first of all, I think this is better than Murder. Second of all, we already have Krenko, so we are incentivized to be red in this draft. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and take Torch the Witness here. And now where do we end up? What is this one? Aftermath Analyst, 2 mana, 1/3, mill 3. Can bring some lands back by sacrificing itself. Probably not. Detective Satchel could be good for us. 4 mana, make 3 artifacts, and you can create a Thopter if you've sacked some artifacts. Meddling Youths, Innocent Bystander. I think the Satchel has the highest upside for us here, so I'm going to go ahead and take that. Now we see a pick 5 Galvanize, 2 mana, deal 3 to a creature. If you draw 2 or more cards this turn, it deals 5 instead. There's also a Rune Brand Juggler, which could be pretty good. But we'll just stay red with Galvanize here. I don't see why we wouldn't. Okay, Vengeful Tracker, meh. Thundering Falls, yeah, Thundering Falls could be pretty good, but there is a Murder. And, I think I'll just go ahead and take Murder here. We're not locked into blue-red. I think we're pretty close to locked into red at this point. We have some really, really good red cards already. If 1 Escape Tunnel was good enough, how about 2? There is a Demand Answers, which I think I'd play 1. There's also a Commercial District, which is fine. Shady Informant, not as fine. Take the Escape Tunnel here, and maybe we find ourselves into some sort of red-based multicolor deck. Could work out. Alright, speaking of red multicolor, got a Public Thoroughfare. ETB's tapped. When it enters, you sacrifice it unless you tap an untapped artifact or land, and it adds 1 mana of any color. There is a Dog Walker as well, which could be good in red. We're not locked into red anything, really. Chase is on. A little bit too expensive for my liking. Maybe I could try it out one day, but I think I'll take the Dog Walker over the Thoroughfare here. And what wheeled for us? A Harried Dronesmith. Wow, is this good with Krenko. And even Detective Satchel, too. Because this sacrifices its... The Thopter sacrifices itself at the end step. So we are taking Harried Dronesmith here. And what do we do now? Shady Informant, don't like it. Offender at Large, don't like it. Defenestrated Phantom, these are all like the same card, basically. I'm just going to take the red card, put it into the sideboard here. Maybe we're red-black and we play a Snarling Gorehound. I doubt it, though. Innocent Bystander is the closest card that we could play, so we'll take 2 in a row. And where do we go from here? Mass Hysteria from the list. A big old fat F. What's our other rare? Kylox. Big old fat F. Where else can we go? There's a Leering Onlooker, which is an uncommon that I do really like. 2 mana 1/3 flyer. 4 mana, exile it from your graveyard, create 2 tapped 1/1 flyers. There's also a Perimeter Enforcer, which is another card I do really like. And I think it's between these two here. I also do really like Buried in the Garden, but I don't think that's for today. So, Enforcer goes with Dogwalker, but we don't even need white necessarily. So I'm going to take the Leering Onlooker and see if we can find ourselves in red-black, maybe? What do we got over here? Oh, these are the Thinking Cap and Magnifying Glass build-arounds. Coveted Falcon. 3 mana 1/4 flyer. Flavor text, followed by Disguise 1 in a blue. When it's turn face up, target opponent gains control of any number of target permanents you control. Well, it's not exactly flavor text before. I don't think that's gonna be good enough. Maybe I just cut the red card here. I don't really like it doesn't add up when you don't know exactly where you're going. Ooh. Gleaming Geardrake. 2 mana, 1/1 flyer, ETBs Investigate, and it gets counters when you sack artifacts. It's also Case of the Gateway Express, but we've got Murder and Leering Onlooker, and with the Gleaming Geardrake, we could have this plus a Satchel here, and then just one more card either way, and we're kind of set, but I really like Gleaming Geardrake and the possibility of going blue-red here, as all red cards are gone. Then what can we do now? Undercity Sewers? Maybe that's okay. I mean, we can still splash some of this stuff potentially. There's also Not on My Watch, but I don't think white is what we're doing. We're kind of going between blue-red and black-red. Just go ahead and take the land here. Oof. What is this one? The life gain one? Yes, that's a big nope. There's an Alley Assailant, but there is a Lightning Helix. This seems splashable off of 2 escape tunnels. There's also a Wisp Drinker Vampire, which could also be splashable, but much more of a build around. I'm going to go ahead and take the Lightning Helix here. There's a Cold Case Cracker as well, but let's take the Helix. Four mana, can't be countered, tap 2 creatures and put stun counters on each of them and investigate. That does give us a clue for our potential blue-red deck. I don't like Expose the Culprit, mainly because I don't feel like learning what it does. I think I'll go ahead and take out Cold here. Okay, Inside Source. It's a card I like. Got Demand Answers and Gearbane Orangutan. This does let us sack artifacts. We just don't have like a ton of artifacts. I'm going to take the Inside Source. Is there a chance that we're just red-white? 5 mana, 4/3 flyer. Suspected Nonsense. Dies, gain 3 life, and suspect something they control. Form Familiar. Caught red-handed, no thanks. On the job, no thanks. I guess I'll take the Form Familiar. We kind of got a lot going on here. maybe just take the combat trick? Okay. I don't think we're playing any of these blue or magnifying glass cards. There is Extracted Confession. That's a card I think I could consider playing if we do end up in black. Another late inside source. Guess I'll take it. So what are we doing here? I guess it depends on what we open. I think we know that we're red. It's just, are we red-white or red-black or red-blue? I guess I'll take a Galvanize to further delay that decision. There is a case of the stashed skeleton here, but I have not seen the red-blue synergistic cards. We've gotten some good synergistic red-white cards, and we have some decent power in black. Let's go ahead and take the Galvanize here. Alright, Scapegoat. There is a Cornered Crook. Gosh, I don't know about the amount of artifacts that we're going to have and be sacrificing. So Person of Interest. I do like Person of Interest, regardless of what color we go into. There's a Scapegoat, which is much more of an aggressive card. There's a Lead Pipe, which does sacrifice itself. Guess I'll take the Person of Interest. Again, when in doubt, I'll take the red card. Wow. Removal, anybody? Galvanize number 3, Slice from Shadows, Long Goodbye. It's also an Exit Specialist, which I think is good, and a Novice Inspector. Wow, what a pack. Alright, I just don't think we're blue, unfortunately. As much as I think we had an option there. So we're red, white, and black, potentially? Mainly red. The only reason I'm taking this is because I know I'm red. I think Long Goodbye might be better, but that's also pretty close. See, because now we get another Satchel and a Gadget Technician. Like, what is this? What is this one? Destroy artifacts? That doesn't do anything. Murder. Alright, I think I'm red-black, splashing Lightning Helix. I think that is most likely. What is this thing? Put target card from your graveyard to the bottom of your library. Activate. Why would you want to do that? Guess so you don't deck yourself? I'll go ahead and take Murder here. Red-black removal. No idea if red-black removal is going to be good in this format. We're about to find out. We got a Scapegoat. We got Felonious Rage. How many creatures do we have? 13. Not too bad. There is Novice Inspector, but gosh, that's more of a splash card for us at this time. At this point, I do like it. I think it's good. I think we could have had a pretty darn good red-white deck here. I'm going to take the Goat. Alright, Dog Walker. There's a Raucous Theater as well. Do we want the Raucous Theater? Or just another Dog Walker? I think I'll just take another Dog Walker here. Gosh. Alright, I guess I'll take Novice Inspector at this point, and I mean, maybe we have the mana to make it work. I don't think we're playing Inside Sources or a Phantom. I don't think we're playing either of these cards. So I guess I'll just take the gems here in Leyline. I don't think we're playing anything here as well. What's our curve look like? We could probably fit in a Cornered Crook. Okay, Slice from Shadows versus It Doesn't Add Up. It Doesn't Add Up works well with Krenko. Just because that's like the best card we have to get back. We're just going to try red-black removal. Some formats, you know, nothing but removal spells is good. And other formats, it's not particularly good. And it's early enough here to figure that out together. So I'm willing to try that out with you here today. I will build this deck. and see you after deck build with the final result. Alright, here's where I ended up with my main deck. I've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 removal spells, followed by just a bunch of creatures here. I don't know how aggressive we are necessarily. I think we have the ability to be aggressive. But we can also just remove a lot of things. What does our sideboard consist of? Kind of nothing, unless we sideboard into more white here. I wonder if I need to put planes into the sideboard. I don't think that's how it works on Arena. So not much of a sideboard, unfortunately. But the ability for some aggressive draws here. So could be an interesting one. First best of 3 draft in the format. See you in game 1. All right, here we are in our first match. Obviously choosing to play first here. Ooh, this is an awkward hand. I think that's probably going to be the case with this deck quite a bit. I'm going to keep it. Question is, do I get black or white? If I get white, I could just cast a Dogwalker on 2, but then I'm 2 lands away from murder? I think it's gotta be black, unfortunately. We can cast the Dogwalker disguised here. Next turn, not this turn, obviously. And then we can flip it up for 2 red, so at least there's that. I don't think I need to murder the Market Watch Phantom. Although next turn, if we do choose to undisguise this, we do light 2 mana on fire, which probably isn't going to be what I'm going to do. I think I'll play the Drone Smith and go from there. Probably the next turn I undisguise this and murder something, maybe. Oh, hello there, Krenko. That is quite the combo with Drone Smith here, so yeah, I think I'm just going to play the Drone Smith and then get in with the 1/1. And then continually make more goblins if they don't have a way to interrupt this. They could be mono white here. Or color screwed. One of the two. You never know. Alright, here we are in the next turn. They didn't do anything on their turn. So not particularly mana efficient to get the whole Krenko thing going, but I think it's pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it here. Okay. And end the turn. Sack it, pay 1. Get a goblin, and making free value turn after turn here. Mazda Vigilante, don't like to see that. Still nothing flies, though. 3/3, yeah, that makes sense. No blocks. I think I'll play this, and I guess we're just going to continue along our value train here. And the turn, sack it, make a goblin, and we just kind of have infinite chump blockers, except for flying here, so I'll probably start throwing some things in front of this. I might might try to double block that. I don't really want to get rid of Krenko or the Dronesmith or really the Dog Walker. At least not yet. We do have Murder in hand to deal with something here. 4 mana, 4/5. Sure. So let's just get rid of that. They do still have a 4/5. That's pretty good. That's really good. So we'll do this here. I don't think we're actually going to pay the 1 this time. So then do I just sack it and put a counter on this thing, basically? Is that our only goblin? I'm sure it is. Yeah. Yeah, so let's just put a counter here. I will decline this time, as I am planning on flipping up a Dog Walker. Well, that's terribly unfortunate. Of course, we put it right into range for them. Okay. But do I block it? I don't think I do. I've got 2 removal spells for their 2 biggest creatures here. I think I keep forgetting these come in tapped, which isn't great. So I think I just take 4. And then just get on the removal train here. They have some sort of way to protect that or something? No, don't think so. Alright, well, let's go to combat. Make that. Get in. Get in. Yeah, we'll attack with these 2. Okay, go to damage. And then we'll hold up... Oh, this is a sorcery. This might not work, unfortunately, because they could have a combat trick here. No, okay, they had nothing. Fine by me. We did get to investigate as well, and now we are going quite wide. They're either seriously mana screwed or playing mono white. Millstone. Yeah, okay, sure. Is this not suspected? Suspect a creature. This is not suspect. Why is it not? Oh, because of this stupid thing. All suspected creatures no longer suspected. Ah, that's fine with me. So let's just get in with all three of these here. And by three, I mean both dog walkers and the Thopter. Alright, we're going to have to play with a little bit more awareness of escape tunnel on the battlefield for them. And by we, I mean they will. Okay, we'll trade it off. They keep their 4-3. Got a bunch of doggos now. See what we find. Let's get our creature down. We can galvanize the Lammasu next turn. This thing is a 4-3, so we can still do that. Karlov Haunch. Good thing that doesn't puff toughness. Buff toughness. Does make it into a 6-powered flyer, though, which we would technically be dead next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 currently. Sure, I'll mill 2 cards, I guess. Okay. What happens when this dies again? Gain 3 life and suspect up to 1 target creature I control. So they're going to gain some life. We don't really have much of a choice on that front. Yeah, well, I'll keep murder. So we're gonna draw murder and then galvanize. Just, I mean, it doesn't really matter that we do that first, but it just guarantees that we do 5. I mean, it's early enough in the format where there are some onboard things that are surprising sometimes. So see if they want to suspect one of our creatures or not. And now they have 1 draw step here. Okay, let's see what they find off the top of their deck. Playing Mardu removal. And that should probably do it. Alright. Alright, our opponent put us on the play, which is fine with me. I said going into sideboarding, and then we cut straight to here because I didn't sideboard because we really don't have one, if we're being honest. So I thought about bringing in Shady Informant. I just don't think that card is very good. That's the, I think it's a 5-mana 4-2. When it dies, deal 2 damage to any target. And it has Disguise for 4 mana. I just don't think it's a particularly great card. Karlov Haunch, sure. Go ahead and play our flyer. We've got Krenko and Dronesmith combo once again. Can we find a 4 mana to kind of keep it going, though? It says haste, right? Okay, well, we'll get in with the Krenko. Also have a cornered crook combo here where Dronesmith can create a Thopter and then the crook sacrifices it, deals 3 damage to any target. So just about all the synergy this deck has is in our hand right now. Looks like they are just mono white. Suspected that after game 1, but still haven't played another color. Okay, 1 mana 1/1. That's all this is right now. I guess they could equip it, make it a 3/1. Yeah, I guess they'll do that. Sure. Okay, let's just play Dronesmith then. Now we kind of have the combo. And I'm not going to trade Krenko at all. And I guess, well, we know they have the 4 damage creature thing. So, or the kill a creature power 4 or greater. So I guess that's a reason to not sacrifice and put a counter here. At least makes that card dead. Until we play like a cornered crook or something. Case file auditor. See if they find a case here. Lightning Helix, Galvanize, Bystander. I don't feel like I need to Lightning Helix a familiar here. So let's just play this. Go to combat, make a Thopter, attack with these 2. And I don't think I'm going to sacrifice. I'm just going to hold up Helix and Galvanize here. I don't really need the 1/1 that much. I mean, we've got so much pressure on them that both of these cards are going to do serious work. Sure. I might just Lightning Helix their face. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do that. They just... doesn't really seem worth it. Did burn a little bit of mana there, but that's okay. So now we can Cornered Crook and start going crazy with all this stuff here. And do we want to throw the Thopter at the face or at like one of these? I think I'll throw it here. Can't pay the 1 this time. So I'll just kill their creature here. Now we have removal spell and finisher, pretty much. Sure, I can kill that with either of these cards here. Speak of either of these cards. So let's do this. Oh, I tapped wrong. I should have tapped over here. That way I can also pay for the goblin here. That way I could hold up both of these and pay for the goblin. A little bit of a mistap, but it'll be alright, I think. Okay, go to 6, and... yeah, end the turn. Don't pay, because of our mistake. Hold up Helix and Galvanize, and probably finish this one out here. Another inside source, sure. They technically are at... I don't care about that. And no blocks. And this should, like, probably do it here. I mean, this thing has menace. Alright, go to combat, make a 1/1, attack with everything, Helix to the face, and that should probably do it for this game here. Alright, there we go. Match 1 down. Currently 1-0. See if we can get a 3-0 trophy in best of 3 here. Alright, starting on the draw here in match number 2. It's not great, but I've had worse. Got a Scapegoat on 1. Tapland on 2, followed by Disguise Creature. Followed by Person of Interest, I suppose. That will have to do. Let's see what we can do here. I am not excited about going up against the potential... Ooh, I do like Galvanize. Of the potential Detectives deck, of which I am already a very large fan of. Yeah, and here is the Detectives deck, that's for sure. Jaded Analyst able to attack, and probably just going to trade this off for whatever they let me trade it off for. Same thing with Person of Interest. Our hand is lining up well against theirs currently, so at least there's that. Don't think I'm going to change off the suspectedness of my Scapegoat here. I'd like this to be able to block something. Another Detective. Hopefully this is able to trade this turn. That would be nice. Vigilance, yeah, I think I will. Let's go ahead and trade here. Galvanize can trade for this. Can't cast Helix yet. I think I'm still just going to do Person of Interest. And I guess I could suspect this creature. It's already going to be suspected because of its own ability. But that would just make this not suspected. Just pass off the suspectedness. I guess that allows me to be able to block with this thing. Yeah, let's just pass this off here. Is it double suspected? No, that's not how that works. And a land would let us double removal spell here. A missed land drop means we could Drone Smith. We could just remove something if we feel like we have to. Happily trade off my 2/2 for their 3/2 if they attack. I I don't think they would. Yeah, I was worried about due diligence. That is a problem. This card is just an absolute beating, man. What do I do now? I have the combo. I've had the combo every single game. It's just at this point, I think this is a little bit too slow. Do I have to just murder this 3/5 here? I don't like doing it, but I mean, otherwise I'm just gonna, like, die. I'm already at 9. Due diligence. What a card. I mean, they basically said, how much do we have to push an aura for it to become playable? And the answer is basically due diligence. Alright, would very much like a land here, so I could go Krenko and Galvanize their Inspector. There we go. So let's play Krenko. And I do think I'm just going to get rid of this loot engine here. I'll attack. If they attack, or if they're able to, if like they crack their clue and attack with this, the question is, do I block with Scapegoat just to absorb some damage so I can Drone Smith next turn and then start turning out an army of 1/1s? Now I need white. Yeah, not red. Fine trading off this 2/2 for their 3/2, because this does have Menace. Okay, go to damage. Sack it, and then with that on the stack, pay. But we are a little, I mean, we're under a clock here. It's just, hopefully we can fade a draw step. That remains to be seen if that's going to be good or not. We need a white mana for Lightning Helix, like, soon. Murder will do. Yeah, I think Murder is going to do just fine here. So now let's go to combat, make a 1/1. Flip up Granite Witness, another flyer. Okay, resolves. Do I? I don't have lethal, do I? I murder this. They block here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, not quite. So oh, this has vigilance as well. So the question becomes, do I murder the Granite Witness now while they don't have any cards in hand and risk, or do I let them draw a card, attack with both, risk them drawing a counterspell and killing me on the spot? I think I'm going to risk the counterspell. It's obviously a risk, but it also taps their Cold Case Cracker here, which I get to do that as well. which means we can kill them on the backswing here, which is exactly what happened. Had we murdered them on our turn, we probably still would have won there. But it's all right. All right, once again, no sideboarding to speak of from our deck. So we're just going to go ahead and go right on into the next game here. And this is a really difficult decision here. I could play turn 1 Gorehound, or I could sack Escape Tunnel for red, play black next turn, probably Extract to Confession, and then Dogwalker on 3. I think that's better here. So let's just do this. If they play some random 2-drop, we can make them sacrifice it next turn. Looks like they didn't. So I don't think I'm going to play Dogwalker. I think I'm just going to play a Gorehound here. And then next turn I can Dogwalker. Could also make them sacrifice this right now, but that is not very mana efficient. Let's do this. Let's get a Surveil, attack with our Menace Dogwalker. Don't need another land here. Our Menace Gorehound, I mean. I don't think I'm trading. Another disguise creature, so they will get to choose here which one to sacrifice. Let's see what they choose. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and flip the Dogwalker. Surveil twice. Not bad. If one was good enough, isn't two? So we'll keep the Dogwalker on top. Next turn, we can play 3 mana for Slice from the Shadows and also Galvanize something if we wanted to. If they didn't flip up this ward creature, holding up 2 white, so they might also have another Dogwalker or many of a different card here. Okay, I guess I'll attack with my Dogwalker and see what they do. See if they have a block here. Looks like they do. What is it? Museum Night Watch. So I can galvanize that and then play another disguised Dogwalker here. Save my Dogwalker. They get a 2/2. Seems okay. I mean, not super okay. I mean, they're basically 2-for-1ing us, but so is the case with Museum Night Watch most of the time. Yeah, that's fine. That one can be countered, but that's okay. Wow. That's a problem. Okay, I don't know what to do about that. In fact, I don't think there's anything I can do. Okay, well, GG. No, I have to do it. I gotta do it this way here. I mean, I have to put together like 2 or 3 removal spells to have a chance against Ezrim here, and I just don't know how I'm gonna do it. Does Krenko do anything? I mean, it's one of the better cards in our deck. I don't know if it's good enough, but I mean, you know, they play some rare bomb that reminds me of, this reminds me of Dreamwalker or Dream something or other, Dream Trawler from Theros Beyond Death, for those of you that remember that. This is going to be a tough one to win here. Also considering this is best of 3, we have to face this in game 3 too after it beats us in game 2. So, not great. Maybe we can go wide enough? Kind of have to keep it, I think. What if I just flipped up Defenestrated Phantom here? That also doesn't just seem very good. I mean, as long as Ezrim's on the battlefield, I mean, just gets hexproof. Twice. Yeah. I guess the way we win is we draw the Thopter Maker as we have every other game, and then they don't have an answer for like 4 turns or something. And we like make an enormous army with Krenko. We can somehow swing for like 30. But just don't know what to do about Ezram. The good news is we've got the board gummed up a ton, so like if they start attacking, yeah, we can actually like have some attacks now. We just have to race. Another disguise creature maybe? Yeah. Okay, I guess now the coast is clear, but we don't have enough mana. Because we have to remove this with 2 different spells. We've got removal. Just not enough. Could murder, they give it hexproof. Still only have 2 mana left. Could torch for X equals 3. Only have 1 mana left. Could just flip this thing up. Attack. Try to race. They can give this lifelink. Can't really race it. Hexproof on enormous flyers is just not particularly fun. Like, we have a lot of going on in this game, and now we just, like, don't. As long as this is on the battlefield and they have these clues, like, what are we supposed to do? We have, like, literal no answer. I guess one of our best answers in the deck is extract a confession with collected evidence. They can hit us for 8 here. They could also gain 5 life in doing so. Okay. I unfortunately don't have an artifact to sacrifice, so I have to chump block this thing now. Yeah, I just have to chump block Ezram and torch the Granite Witness for X equals 1, and then I could still murder something else? Is it another one? Yeah, I figured it was. I'm just done with this. Okay. I don't think I have anything in the sideboard, but I'll double check for you. Alright, the answer was, indeed, I do not have anything in the sideboard. I think that will be the answer every single time. Alright. Escape tunnel for white, novice inspector, tapped undercity sewers, surveil, try to find a red land somewhere. It's not outstanding, but got a removal spell. Got a novice inspector. I guess I could get red. I think I'd rather play the inspector so that the cornered crook has an artifact to sacrifice to deal 3 somewhere. I unfortunately can't keep Krinko. Had the combo, just can't keep him because I don't have a red land in hand. Just keep drawing red spells, I guess. Okay, down goes their disguised creature. And we just have to find red lands. We have to sacrifice our artifacts, unfortunately. Alright. I think we probably are dead now. I mean, if they find any one of their good cards. Play the stupid 5/5. Let me murder it while you're tapped out. Sure. I mean, I figured 15 cards deep I'd find a red source, maybe? Just such a hopeless feeling. Like, we're not really even playing here, unfortunately. Like, no decisions to be made. Game will be over in a couple minutes. It's just such a hopeless feeling sometimes. Yeah, and by a couple minutes, I mean a couple seconds. Kind of unfortunate. I guess I should have got the red at the beginning. Obviously, hindsight's 2020. I drew a white, so I could have been able to do that. I just had a lot more red sources in the deck, so I figured I'd draw one by 16 cards deep, but didn't. Alright, let's see if we can avoid what happened last time and actually play some Magic here in match 3. Got Escape Tunnel, and by that I mean Evolving Wilds. Go ahead and get red this time. And now we're going to draw Lightning Helix followed by Novice Inspector. Of course we would. Well, how about Novice Inspector followed by Lightning Helix? Can I interest you in that? The mana's not perfect for this deck, but we were waffling in the draft a lot of Mardu. Hey, there's white. We actually found our colors. Next turn we can Novice Inspector and crack the clue and make a goblin. But if they just play some random 3-mana creature, I might just kill it with Extract a Confession here. Blue-green. Have yet to see blue-green yet in this format. So let's see if they have any version of a good deck in blue-green. If that's even possible. Alright, guess we'll do this here then. Alright, getting aggro. They're already at 11 and haven't really played anything yet. Which is fine by me. Just play some random dumb 5-mana creature that I can extract a confession upon. That's close. I guess I'll just galvanize that. The confession can hit the next big thing they play here. So they go to 5. They're dead on board, but there are many things they could have. 6 mana. Eavesdropper. And yeah, I could have just flipped this and attacked with both. Attacked with Krenko. Alright, last game of the day. Once again, no sideboarding. Starting with the mulligan here. Keeping 6 and sending back a land. And now we're going to hope we can draw some creatures. Yeah, we'll lead on Gorehound. Probably play Mountain next turn. Hold up Galvanize. Play Plains the following turn. Disguise a Dogwalker. Now the man is a little awkward, but I think I would like to hold up Galvanize. They're going to have a 3-drop next turn. More than likely going to want to kill it. Okay, sure. Made us light our mana on fire, and they're ramping, so I don't like that. I don't need another plains. If that was a swamp, I might have considered keeping it so I could murder. I mean, I could have also kept the plains to play Person of Interest, but I can still galvanize something next turn, hopefully. Even if I cast, or if I use Escape Tunnel here. Could also just flip up Dogwalker. A couple options, but they do have 5 mana, which is worrisome in green. Okay, can't collect evidence. Is that worth galvanizing? I guess it depends on what we draw here. Lightning Helix. I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna trade here. Oops. I meant to crack Escape Tunnel first. Yeah. I can get rid of that one too, I guess. Then I can do this. Go get a black here. Trade it off. And got removal.deck. That's what we are doing here today. Seeing if removal's good. And so far, I think it actually is in this format. I mean, if they just play some dumb 6/6, we can just shoot it on down, which will be good. Not that we have a ton of pressure on them necessarily, but yeah, there's a 6/5. I will not be able to draw 2 cards this turn, so guess that means I'm murdering. I suppose I could have also played Person of Interest and like delayed that one turn. I wasn't under a ton of pressure. That's a close one. Cryptic Coat. Yeah, that's a good card, right? So cloak the top card of your library, then attach it. +1/+0 can't be blocked. And they can return the cloak to their hand for 1 and a blue. So if they tap out, I'm definitely going to kill that. Yeah, I've definitely got to kill the morph now, or the cloak or whatever. So that they can't return this to their hand and continually keep doing that. And unfortunately that's going to cost me 4 mana, but I pretty much just have to do it. So there's no way to re-equip this, right? So if I kill this creature, this just goes to their graveyard? No, it just sits on the battlefield and they can just do it again anyway. Oh my gosh, that's a dumb card. That's right, because it wouldn't go to the battlefield. It just kind of sits there. There's no way to re-equip it. They could return it to their hand and then recast it. So over and over, it's a 5-mana 3/2. That's a problem. So I guess that means I'm just doing this. Yeah, I mean, again, it's one of our better cards. Not to mention this thing, they may turn it up, face up any time for its mana cost. I don't think I have artifact or enchantment removal in the board, but I would bring it in if I had it, that's for sure. You got a 4/4. What does it have? Reach and Ward 2. Sure, I guess I take 6. Or maybe more than 6. Okay. What else you got now? Something I can kill? Undergrowth Recon. Beginning of your upkeep, return a land from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped. That is fine with me. See if we can race this here. We are at 6 and we have Lightning Helix, so depends on what this creature is. I sacrifice an artifact? I don't think I control one. Do I? Okay, that didn't do anything. Sure. Okay. Kind of confused here, but sure. Hit us for 8 now, I guess. Okay, go to 6. Return this to your hand, I guess. Yeah, alright, that means we win. Okay. Went 2-1 with the deck. Probably should have been a little bit better. By a little bit, I mean 3-0. But that middle game was just a rough one as far as the draws and the lack of mountains that we drew. But did manage a 2-1 with oops all removal here. And usually 2-1 is where you want to be. If you can get a 2-1, keep doing that. That's usually good enough. Visions of Phyrexia and the Alchemy card, which I do not care in the slightest about. Today was our first wild card video. Next Sunday, tune in for who knows what. I don't even know yet, but it'll be a good one. We've got 5 more premiere drafts of Karlov Manor this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. AI deck build, Historic Brawl Saturday, and a wild card video on Sunday. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you next time for your daily draft.